I think right now it's a big enough ocean for more than one boat. It's not just going to be Tesla's world and everyone else is paying rent as we look out the next 5 to 7 years. And that's fine because we're going to a $5 trillion market over the next decade. So when you look at some of the traditional players like a GM and a Ford, and especially some of the European players, I mean, this is really going to be what I believe is a renaissance of growth for these automakers. And you're going to see a re-rating. And I think this is important. The auto sector, from an EV perspective, you're going to start to see a re-rating on names like GM, Ford, and others as they have success in EV. And like I said, I think this is one of the most transformational growth trends in the last 20 to 30 years in terms of EV. And many are going to play and win in this sector over the coming years.
Daniel, you mentioned, I just want to wrap up the conversation on Tesla and Bitcoin, because I think it's important when we think about whether or not other companies in the U.S. will follow suit. And you mentioned how Tesla is on trajectory to make more from its Bitcoin investments than profits from selling its EVs in all of 2020. But the reality is, according to U.S. accounting rules, they can't actually realize those gains. They can only realize the losses until they actually sell Bitcoin. Is that an impediment to more companies adopting this kind of corporate treasury strategy?
Yeah, and I think from a corporate strategy, when I look at treasury perspective, I believe 3 to 5% of U.S. corporations over the next 12 to 18 months will have some form of Bitcoin or crypto potentially that they invest in. Now, it's going to be contained until we start to see more regulatory goalposts. But this is not going away in terms of Bitcoin. I think it's going to be a trend that's going to be here to stay. And I think what you're seeing with Tesla and Musk is that they're seeing the forest for the trees in terms of where this is going. And of course, MicroStrategy, look at Dorsey and Square. I think there's going to be more commonplace, especially over the next 12 to 18 months, given what we're seeing in terms of this mainstream currency from a digital perspective becoming more front and center.